Hi guys, welcome to our channel Selenium Tech Automation. So today I am going to discuss about the top 30 most important Selenium questions for 3+ years of experienced candidates. Okay, the top 30 most important Selenium interview questions for 3+ years of experienced candidates. So let's get started with our interview questions now. So here the first question is explain about automation you have done, right? So if the interviewer asks about explain about the automation you have done so far, means as an automation tester we are going to perform these functional testing, right? So what is called functional testing here? To test whether the software application is functioning as per the business requirements or not. So we are going to test that one, that is called functional testing. Okay, almost all Selenium automation tests mainly at UI layer of the web application under test. Okay, almost all Selenium automation test scripts will test the functional tests mainly at user interface layer of the web application under test environment, right? So for example, if you can consider one Amazon application, so we are doing testing on the UI layer of that particular Amazon application, that is called web application. Okay, and also under functional testing, so we can have many types of testing approaches. The first one is smoke testing, the second one is sanity testing, UI testing, likewise DB testing and cross browser testing. The last one is regression testing. Okay, I am not going to explain each and every testing techniques here. You can just google it so that you can find the solution for that one here, but you have to explain in that way very clearly, right? So then the second question is, what is the approach of automation testing? What is the approach for automation testing? So to before that, to do automation we have to follow some automation test process, that is also called as automation test life cycle, right? So in this automation test life cycle or approach for automation testing, so there will be some phases where we need to follow. Under that, the first one is feasibility analysis, the second one is suitable selection process, and the third one is select and develop framework process, and the fourth one is analyze and execute the script. Okay, the first one is feasibility analysis, suitable tool selection process, third one is select and develop framework process, and the fourth one is analyze and execute the automation scripts. Okay, under this feasibility analysis we are going to check feasibility for automation and also what modules can be tested and what are all the modules we cannot able to test. So we have to first do feasibility analysis on this, and also what tests should be automated and how to automate. Okay, so there are 3 steps we have to follow under feasibility analysis. So likewise we can explain to your interviewer if he will ask about what is the approach for automation testing. So under feasibility analysis there are 3 steps we are going to perform. The first one is check feasibility of automation, the second point is what modules can be tested and which can't be automated. Okay, and the third one is what tests should be automated and how to automate. Okay, and whereas it comes to suitable tool selection process, as you can see here there are two tools. For example, the first tool is Selenium and the second tool is QTP, right? So Selenium, why we are preferring only Selenium as an automation testing tool? Because Selenium is a open source tool and Selenium will support multiple browsers to execute all our scripts, and also Selenium will support multiple operating systems, and also Selenium will support different programming languages, and also with the help of Selenium automation we can automate mobile application sites as well. And also the fourth to last one is here we can do group testing also. Whereas if you come to QTP, that is quality test professional, so it is a licensed version first of all, and also it will support only 3 browsers. The first one is Google Chrome browser, second one is Internet Explorer browser, and the third one is Mozilla Firefox. And QTP will support only the version, OS version is Windows. Okay, QTP is supported by only operating system Windows. Okay, and also QTP supports only VB scripts language only, and we cannot able to do automation for mobile applications, and also we cannot able to do group testing here in this QTP. That's the reason why we are always preferring this Selenium as a tool selection process for automation testing. And the third one is select and develop framework process. Okay, here we can see there are multiple frameworks which are available currently in the market. The first one is hybrid framework, data driven framework, keyword driven framework, TestNG framework, page object model, and modular driven framework. And Cucumber framework also will be available based upon the requirements, based upon the details. Okay, we are going to pick any one of the framework among all these frameworks. Okay, so the next one is develop, analyze, and execute the test script, right? Develop, analyze, and execute the test scripts. Okay, first we have to develop some framework, and there we have to analyze how we can make our automation scripts. Then once if you're done with making of that automation scripts, we are going to execute the scripts, right? So these are all the steps we need to update to your interviewer while you are giving interview. Okay, the second question is that one. Next slide. So you can see here, write xpaths for dynamic web elements, right? Dynamic web elements, how we can write xpaths. Okay, with the help of contains function, with the help of starts with function, with the help of ends with function, with the help of following function, with the help of ancestor function, with the help of child, with the help of preceding. These are all the functions where we can easily handle the dynamic web elements inside that application UI. Okay, so in this way you can explain. If you want more information about all these, you can write syntax and show to him. So this is how we can use this starts with function, this is how we can use this ends with function, this is how we can use this following sibling functions. Okay, likewise you can explain for each and every function about dynamic xpaths. Okay, so after that, the fourth question is write a piece of code for Excel file reading and writing. Before answering this question, first tell about where it is coming from. So where we are going to use and how we can use this Excel file reading and writing with the help of which tool. Okay, the first thing we have to explain here is with the help of Apache PI, that is Apache Pure Obfuscation Implementation. With the help of Apache PI, so we can easily handle these Excel files like reading and writing into Excel files test data. So along with that, so you need to mention what are all the interfaces we can have inside this Excel file reading and writing concept. So the first one is workbook. Inside that workbook we can have one more sheet interface. Inside that we can have one more row interface, we can have one more cell interface. So we can draw some hierarchy where it is starting from root to child. So after that you can write some piece of code with the help of file input stream. What it will do, this is a class where we can handle that, where we can pass our .xlsx file path. After that you can initialize workbook interface. So thereafter you can mention what is the sheet name, and also we can get this this sheet with the help of index value also. And also if you want to retrieve how many numbers, you can take some for loop to retrieve all the rows. And if you want to take any exact cell value from that particular row, you can write some script for that one. And also the next question is how to skip test methods using TestNG. Okay, how to skip test methods using TestNG. In TestNG we can have three approaches to skip our test methods while doing execution. So the first approach is use the parameter enabled equals to false. Okay, I will mention this parameter at the rate test only. I will mention this enabled equals to false inside our at the rate test annotation. By defaultly it won't do any skip. If you want to make any skip, any one of your methods to be skipped, you have to mention the parameter as enabled equals to false for that at the rate test annotation. And also the second one is using of throw new skip exception and passing some message, we can skip our test method. Okay, use of throw new skip exception following with some string message, we can easily skip from a test method from our execution. And also we can mention some conditional skip statements also. For example, if I don't want to use this one, you can do some other thing. So during that time also we can use this conditional skip. This is related to our user, end user can mention this conditional skip approach. Okay, and the sixth question is write code for handling the window based pop-ups and non-HTML pop-ups. As Selenium, with the help of Selenium we can deal with web-based pop-ups but not with window-based pop-ups. There is some limitation. Selenium is not able to handle the window-based pop-ups. Selenium will handle only web-based pop-ups. Okay, only web-based pop-ups. If you want to handle window-based pop-ups, we have to depends upon, I mean, we need to depend upon one tool that is called Auto IT. With the help of Auto IT, we can handle this window-based pop-ups and non-HTML pop-ups. So how we can do that one? By writing some piece of code, and inside that, I mean, by taking one .exe file, so there we can write some code with the help of Auto IT commands. So once that is done, we need to convert into some executable jar file. So then we can provide this syntax that is called runtime.getRuntime.excc, means executable. The file path we need to mention. With the help of Auto IT, we can handle these window based pop-ups and non HTML pop-ups. Okay, this is how you can explain in front of interview. And the seventh question is, what are all the oops concepts you have used inside your framework? So, okay, by defaultly in Selenium you can find all these oops concept. It's not like Java related concepts I am telling. By defaultly Selenium is providing some concepts, I mean some methods. So there by defaultly Selenium are using these oops concept. Apart from that, what you implemented with the help of oops concepts. So during that time you can explain to the interviewer like, I did this abstraction on our and we are using inside our framework for a particular method. I used this collections concept at this particular level. I used this encapsulation. I used this inheritance by extending some other class, child class or parent class. I used this polymorphism on some classes. I used this interfaces. So likewise you need to tell where you implemented by your own self. It's not about the concept which are provided by Selenium. Okay, so the next question is how to retrieve font size of a paragraph in Selenium and write code for that. So here with the help of buffer reader and file reader classes, we can read the text from the txt file. At the same time, if you want to write any txt file, so in the same way we can have file writer and buffer writer. With the help of these two methods, we can easily read and write test data to our .txt files. Whereas if interviewer will ask you to retrieve some paragraph size, means first we need to take that css selector or xpath for that particular paragraph, following by p tag, right? So then we can mention dot size of that one. So then it will retrieve the font size, I mean it will give you the font size of that particular paragraph what you initialize that web element. So then the next question is, in pom.xml file, what are all the, I mean other than dependency tags, what else we can have? Other than dependency tags, we can see group id, artifact id, properties tag, build tag, plugins and plugin tags. So these are all the tags we can see apart from these dependency tags. So for example, group id is for where we can mention our project name, something like that. And inside this properties tag, so where we can initialize, I mean where we can mention our, for example, I am using Java 11 version. So there I don't want to mention hardcoded value. If you mention some Java $version, so it will take automatically whenever that Java version is available on your machine. You don't need to mention any hardcoded value of that version. And at the same time, build tag, after build tag you can see this plugins tag, after you can see this plugin tag. Okay, there are hierarchy between build tag and plugins tag and plugin. Okay, then the next question is 11th question, that is how to integrate your Maven project with ALM and Jira tools, right? So first of all, some companies like where the framework is already available, so when you joined recently, so there you don't need to do any configuration between your framework and ALM or Jira tools, because there is some team that is called DevOps team, so they will configure internally everything to your Eclipse or your project, right? So then you can simply skip this question. If he will ask about how you can integrate your Maven project, means as I recently joined as an automation tester, so I don't have particular knowledge on how to configure, but I will learn if I get any chance. So before that, there is a team that is called DevOps team. They are already configured by defaultly, so I am just using that what are the details what that DevOps teams is providing to me. So then I am configuring inside my Eclipse project. Okay, this is how we can smartly skip that question. If you have knowledge how we can configure, then no issues, you can explain whatever you know. If you don't have knowledge, you can tell him in this way. So the next question is, with the help of CSS selector, how to handle dynamically changing properties of an element, right? So with the help of CSS selector, how to handle dynamically changing properties of an element. So it is also like the same, like how we can handle this dynamic web elements of XPaths, right? Dynamic XPaths of any web element. So in the same way, you can also explain here in CSS selector also, we can write CSS selectors with the help of single attribute, at the same time multiple attributes. Here also we can have starts with, contains with, and ends with. These are all the syntaxes you can see here. Multiple attributes, contains function is tag name square bracket at the rate that star symbol equals to value. This is for contains function. Likewise, for starts with, you can have attribute equals to value. In the same way, you can have for ends with function also, it mentioning with some dollar value. Okay, how to handle frames in a web page. A window within a window is also called as iframe, right? A window within a window within a window is called as iframe. The syntax for this iframe means, the syntax for this iframe is, the syntax for navigating back to the parent frame or default frame. So there are two syntaxes. You can use any one of these two, but these two will do the same functionality only. If you are using driver.switch to parent frame, it will automatically navigate back to the parent frame only. If there are two frames are open, if you write this syntax driver.switch to parent frame, it will automatically go back to the parent frame only. At the same time, if you write switch to default content, it will take you to the parent frame only. So how we can use this how we can handle these frames? With the help of frame index, with the help of frame name, and with the help of frame element. Likewise, how we are automating the drop down list. So in the same way, we can, not all the same, some part of that concept is the same for frames also. So here using a frame index. So frame index we are not going to prefer every time, because that index value is keep on changing. So better to go for frame name and frame element. Okay, many cases people are using frame name and frame element only. So you can tell him in this way. And what are all the methods you created inside your current project? So as of now I created, you can explain like, as of now I created many methods where we are reusing all these methods throughout our current framework. As an experienced guy, I created these many methods, like 10 to 20 methods for this particular project since when I joined. So till now also we are using the same methods. Like if I want to click on any web element, I created this method. If I want to perform any send keys on that particular text field, I created this method. And also if I want to handle drop down list, so I created this method with the help of uh, select by index, select by value, select by name. So likewise, if you created how many methods you created, you can just show to him by writing some piece of code. So then he will realize that yes, that is correct. If anything needs to be changed, he will definitely suggest you. Okay, so then why TestNG only preferable other than the remaining frameworks? Okay, TestNG is a beautiful framework where Selenium is providing some built-off annotations like @test, before test. So likewise, we can have some few more annotations, right? So with the help of TestNG, we can easily handle with our test cases methods. Means the functionality, the execution order, we can keep it in sequential order if you want. Okay, if you don't want to be in sequential order, you can mention it in some based upon the alphabetical value. Okay, with the help of TestNG, we can make our scripts to be executed in particular order, means sequential order. And also by defaultly all the @test methods will be executed on alphabetical order. If I don't want to execute on alphabetical order, means I want to set some priorities which is starting from 0 or 1 till how many methods you can have. So and also with the help of TestNG, we can merge all the multiple test cases into test suite with the concept of testng.xml file. Okay, and also in testng.xml concept, we can find one more concept that is called data at the rate data provider annotation also will be there, and also in the testng.xml file we can do some assertions also, like assert and verify methods will be there. So this is how we can explain why TestNG only preferable other than remaining frameworks. And also we can have beautiful reports with the help of TestNG. We can generate some good reports with the help of TestNG. So then the next question is 17th question. This is one real-time scenario, like there is some Google search bar. Once if I entered Selenium tutorial for freshers, first time it is coming on the first option from that list. Again if I close and open the browser, again I am searching for the same means. This time that index value got changed to 2 for that Selenium tutorial for fresher, which means that Selenium tutorial fresher is not the constant always. Whenever I am doing closing and opening, it is keep on increasing that index value. So during that time, how we can handle this scenario? With the help of how we can do, with the help of xpath functions, like as we discussed earlier, like same starts with function, ends with function, and also contains. So with the help of these functions we can easily handle this kind of scenario. So you can explain him in this way. So then the 18th question is, suppose there are more than 50 test cases I am executing from testng.xml. If any one of the test case got failed, I want to terminate my execution. How to deal with this scenario? Okay, there are 50 test cases in my testng.xml file and I am executing all these 50 test cases. Suppose if there is any test case got failed, like 10th test case got failed, I don't want to continue with remaining test cases which needs to be executed, because I don't want to waste my time, right? So during this time, how we can handle this scenario? So with the help of TestNG listeners concept, so we can easily handle this scenario. If you want, you can just check in Google how to handle this scenario. Okay, and the next question is how to initialize web elements in page object model design pattern. What are all the advantages of POM? Page object model is a very nowadays it is very much popular framework, because with the help of page object model we can segregate all the classes into pages, like all the pages into separate classes. For example, login page, home page, logout page. Okay, for login page I will create one separate class, for home page I will create one more separate class, for logout page I will create one more separate class, right? With the help of page object model, why we need this page object model? Where the application UI is keep on changing frequently, where the application UI is frequently changing. So during that time this page object model will helps you more, because for example in this current build, for an element submit button there is some xpath. If you took some new build, the xpath got changed. If you run your scripts will fail definitely, because that xpath got updated in the latest version. So during this time you no need to change entire script, you can just go to your page class, so there you can update your new xpath. That's it. So because of this you can save more time, and also we can reduce the manual efforts also inside this page object model. So how we can initialize all our web elements? So with the help of page factory init elements we can easily initialize our web elements. What this page factory will do? Page factory will locate and define all the web elements inside the UI. Okay, what this page factory will do? Page factory will locate and define all the web elements inside this page. Okay, so in the same way, with the help of @find by annotation we can write xpath for this one. Okay, so then the next question is how to handle multiple windows which are currently opened in current session. Suppose now I am in Naukri home page. So where if I click on register button, so this register, after clicking on this register button, I am taking back, I am going to some other window. Okay, so I want to perform some actions on the new window, that is shell window. So this time our Selenium WebDriver focus is still remains on the parent window only, that is window number 1. So during this time we have to get first all the windows with the help of set of string. So what is this return type of set of string? It will return set of strings, means if there are more than one window, so it will return you all the window IDs. Okay, whereas get window handle means it will return you the current window ID in the return type is string. Okay, and the return type is string. So first we have to move driver focus to the child window, so then only we can able to perform some actions on child window. Once the actions got completed, again I want navigate back to my parent window. Okay, to achieve this one we have to use these methods, that is get window handle and get window handles. With the help of set string, so we can capture all the string window IDs. Okay, so how to handle dynamic web tables? Okay, for example, there is a table in my test case, there is a table which is having 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay, this is for one test case. Likewise, I can have one more test case where I am getting 4 rows and 4 columns. So this time first it is 3 rows and 3 columns, the second test case it is 4 rows and 4 columns. Means this web table is not the constant row and columns, it is a dynamic web table. Depends upon the scenario that rows and columns are increasing. To handle this one, first what we need to do, we have to collect complete xpath of that web table. After taking that web table of xpath, so then we need to take all the rows till how many rows is coming for each and every execution. We have to loop that many times for that particular rows. So once that is done, we have to traverse to the column tag, right, that is td. So you need to take xpath for that one also, then you can perform some for loop. So then you will easily handle this dynamic web table. Okay, and also data provider with TestNG method examples. The next question is data provider with TestNG method examples. Here at the rate data provider annotation is used for data driven test cases. For example, there are 50 users are trying to perform their actions on some online application. So during this time, with the help of at the rate data provider annotation, we can take all their credentials like username and password for first user, username and password for second user. So likewise 50 users we can take, and with the help of at the rate data provider annotation, so we can easily pass all those credentials as per the user logins. Okay, so if we are using at the rate data provider annotation, means then we no need to use this for loop. So that's the main advantage of at the rate data provider in TestNG. So the next question is, what is the user depends on methods in TestNG.xml? So here, for example, there is some login page, home page, and a registration page and logout page. First order is from login I am going to home page, from home page I am going to registration. Once that registration got completed, I am going to log out. So these are all the sequential order, right? So means the first method, second method is depends upon the first method, third method is depends upon the second method, fourth method is depends upon the third method. Means these are all interlinked with each other. At the rate test methods all are interlinked with each other. So during this time we can use this depends on methods with the help of TestNG concept. So the next question is how to run all our scripts on existing browser and on current session without closing the browser. For example, let me take one scenario. So I am working on some one test case, so where the test case is having 6 methods. Okay, my test case got failed at fifth method, and fifth method I am getting failures, and sixth method not executed. Okay, so I am getting failure at fifth method, and also I am knowing okay it is failing on fifth method. So what we will do, we will close our browser and we will try to analyze where it is failing exactly. Accordingly we will try to fix that issue, right, saying that which is failing on fifth method. So again what we are doing, we are fixing that issue for fifth method, and again we are starting it from first method only. So in this approach we are closing the browser and current session. So but with the help of this concept, we are not going to end our session, and also we are not going to closing our current browser session. Okay, so to achieve that one, we have one concept called remote debugging mode. Okay, with the help of remote debugging mode, if I got any test method got failed, I am not going to close my current browser and current browser session, so I can just continue with my work wherever the test case got failed on my existing browser and current session only. So with the help of remote debugging mode. So then the next question is how to highlight web elements in Selenium with different colors. Okay, with the help of JavaScript executor, we can easily mention the colors for all our web elements. With the help of this approach, so the clients will also understand the functionality flow of our application, because each and every web element is highlighting with some color what we are passing inside this JavaScript executor, so that everyone will have an idea about the application functionality, because that elements all are highlighting, right? So because of that everyone will understand the application flow and functionality. So the next question is how to run failed test case in TestNG. So with the help of retry analyzer concept, we can retry for the failed test method how many times. If you want to run our failed test case, that many times we can run our failed test cases with the help of retry analyzer. If you want, you can check this concept inside Google. Okay, and also how to capture logs in console. Okay, for example, I am executing one test case that is having 5 methods. Okay, if I executed first time, I am not getting any consoles, like it is just telling this method got passed, this method got failed, but I am not getting how many methods got passed, how many methods got failed inside our console. With the help of this verbose concept, we can get very clear console logs inside our console part after your execution. Okay, if you keep on increase this verbose equals to value, accordingly you will get more logs. Okay, I tried with verbose equals to 5 only. After verbose equals to 5, I am getting the same logs. Okay, for the same like verbose equals to 5 only. If you want, you can try by increasing the verbose equals to 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. So then if you know anything, please mention in the comment section as well. And the next question is how to capture browser logs and store in .txt file. Okay, as of now we are getting only the logs which are related to our test scripts only, but how we can capture browser logs and store in some .txt file? In some cases, as an automation tester, we don't know how that application is behaving internally, right? So this will known by developers only. So it is better to have some idea how our application is responding to the server, and application is getting the request from the server, and how application is getting response from the server. For example, if I clicked on that login button, so this time what will happen, this client will send some request to the server where it is that login button clicked properly or not. So accordingly you will get some response from the server. Means if that login button got clicked successfully, it will take you to login, I mean home page. Once if you login successful, if it is not successful, then you will get some error messages like error codes, that is 404 or 401 or 503. Okay, these kind of codes you will get if you. So this kind of information we can store it easily with the help of browser logs concept. Here you can see the syntax for that one is system.setProperty of WebDriver.edge.driver, and you can mention the file path where exactly our file got located along with the file extension, that is .txt file. Okay, as of now I tested with on Edge browser only. Now I can able to get browser logs also, like what I said. So then the last question is tell me about yourself and what are all the challenges you have faced. Tell me about yourself means first you can start with your name and where are you from and what are all the technology, I mean how many years you have an experience with automation testing, and also what are all the tools you have used and what are the frameworks you have worked with and what are all the challenges you have faced with. So these are all the things we need to update, and also on which domains we have worked with, and also if you have some extra knowledge about some different tools also you can update here as well. So this is all about 30 questions. These are all the most important questions the candidates who are having more than 3+ years of experience in automation testing. So I hope these questions will helps you a lot. If you like this video, please drop a like and don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to share. Please share this video to your friends or colleagues so that our video will recommend to the more people. Okay, that's all it for now today. So I hope I will learn something from my side. So if you learn something, please drop a like, and I'm going to end this tutorial now. So have a nice day everyone, take care, and thank you once again. Signing off, Selenium Tech Automation. We'll see in our next video. Thanks guys.